Hey guys, so today I'm very excited because I will be doing my first book haul of 2018. I don't know why it's been so long that I've done a book haul. I have still been buying books. I have 16 here to haul for you. I guess it just kept slipping my mind. Most of them I've read, which is quite unusual for me. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into the books. So I'm going to start off with the books that I've already read, which I actually have 8 of them, so that's half, but there is one I'm currently reading, so I'm technically more than half, which I consider an accomplishment. I'm not even sure which order to talk about them, so I'm just going to grab them one after the other. This is Not a Love Letter by Kim Purcell. This is one that I read because I received an e-arc of it from NetGalley, and I enjoyed it so much that I wanted to purchase my own copy of it. So this is a young adult contemporary that is told through letters from, I believe, a 17-year-old girl, yes, named Jessie, who is currently going through a breakup with her boyfriend Chris when Chris goes missing. So throughout their 9-month relationship, they wrote love letters back and forth to each other, and now she is writing these letters to him to be like, what happened? Where are you? What's going on? And it's just a very dark but powerful contemporary that I enjoyed a lot. So I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. Pretty Dead Girls by Monica Murphy. This one was one that I pre-ordered, was on my most anticipated list of 2018, and I hated it. I gave it 1 out of 5 stars. It was cliche, it was boring, it was plotless, the characters were flat. This will be later seen again in my unhaul video. Meet Cute. This is a young adult anthology edited by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is a contemporary that I think I read for AYearAThon, but another one that was on my most anticipated list and was alright. There were some stories that I enjoyed more than others. I did post a full review on my blog rating each individual story since there are 14 in here. But I think my favorite one was the one by Cass Morgan. So there were a lot that I gave 5 stars, some that I gave 2 or 3, but you can check that out on my blog. Another anthology, All Out, edited by Sandra Mitchell. This one I will go into probably more detail of in my March wrap up, because this is one that I read for AYearAthon where our theme was retellings. So this is, I don't remember how many stories, I think there were like 17 stories in here that were all LGBTQIA themed. So again, like I did with All Out, I did do a complete breakdown review on my blog, so you will find that link down below. There were a lot of stories in here that I just couldn't connect with or I couldn't get into the writing of, but there were other ones that I did really enjoy, so this one was an overall 3 stars as well. So my favorite book that I've read so far this year, All We Can Do Is Wait by Richard Lawson, another young adult contemporary from my debut author that came out beginning of March, I think. And in this novel, we follow 4 teens who meet in a hospital waiting room after a Boston Bridge collapse. They are all waiting to hear from their sister, their parents, their girlfriend, and they experience this tragedy together, and it was so moving. There are so many underlying stories that brought these teens where they are now, and it all tied together so well, and the characters were just awesome. So again, full review on my blog. I loved it. 5 out of 5 stars. Shattered Glass by Teresa Toden. This one I picked up randomly when I was at the mall one day because my phone started acting up. It turned off and would not turn back on, so I waited in Apple for 2 hours, and the mall that I was in for Apple had a bookstore, so I went and picked this one up to read while I was waiting for them to like run all their diagnostic tests. Phone's fixed now. So picked this one up because it is part of the Secret series in which I read The Unquiet Truth, I think? The Unquiet Past by Kelly Armstrong, and I loved that one. So decided to pick this one up, and I didn't like it as much as I did the other ones. Together at Midnight by Jennifer Castle, another one that I pre-ordered and was on my most anticipated list, if you can catch the theme here with all of the books that will be in this haul. But there are a lot of good books coming out, so this one, another young adult contemporary, but we follow Max and Kendall. I think that was their names, if I got that right. I did. That's actually kind of impressive. I read this like a month and a half ago. So they're in New York City over Christmas, so between Boxing Day and New Year's, and the 2 of them witness a tragic accident that ends up bringing them closer together, and they start evoking random acts of kindness, and they both are kind of like dealing with relationship things but becoming closer as friends, and then because it's a contemporary, like they become like there's feelings there, but they don't want to address the feelings because they have kind of a rocky history, and it seems dramatic and cliche and angsty, and it kind of was, but it was also cute. So this is like, I would describe it as the perfect example of like a 3-star read. It's not bad, but it's not great, but it also gets me excited, which makes me think it's like a 3.5. So it's not bad. It is a quick read, and I would recommend giving it a try. And then the last one of the books that I've already read is Love, Hate, and Other Filters by Samira Ahmed. So this is another one that was on my most anticipated list, and another young adult contemporary. If you couldn't already catch the vibe of what I've been reading this year, this one was different and unique and also very powerful. So in this book we follow 17-year-old Maya, who is trying to decide what she wants to do with her future. So her parents want her to stay local in Chicago and go to school to be a doctor or a lawyer and continue with their family's religious practices and beliefs, but she wants to move to New York to go to film school, which they do not support. They think it's just a hobby for her. So in this last year before graduating and deciding, she kind of branches out a little bit and does things she wouldn't have, and then there is a terrorist attack, so we deal with Islamophobia, and yeah, it was great. I think I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. And then the book that I'm currently reading and probably will have finished today is Obsidio by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, one of my favorite book series of all time, finally breaking away from the contemporary vibe. But this is the 3rd and final book in the Illuminate File series, and I'm pretty much over halfway. So like I said, I will finish this today, but I wanted to include it in the haul because it is one that I've bought. So yeah, I love this series. There isn't much I can say about it because it is the 3rd book, but it's a great sci-fi series, and I don't read a lot of sci-fi, so if you're hesitant, this is a good place to start because it is told in like mixed medias. So it's really light and easy to read, so don't be deterred by the size. It's easy. So I did also receive a book to review, which I'm so excited about. This one came unsolicited from Simon & Schuster, and that is Liar's Candle by August Thomas. So this is a novel I hadn't heard of, but sounds super interesting, so I'm just going to read the back synopsis to you. In this brilliant debut thriller, reminiscent of the works of John le Carre and Olin Stonhauer, and infused with the authenticity of the author's travels, a young American State Department intern based in Turkey becomes the woman who knows too much and is marked for death. I love me some thrillers, so looking forward to reading this, and this comes out on April 17th of this year, so hopefully I read it and get a review up before it's released, but I'll read it and review it. Then there are 6 books that I purchased that I haven't read yet but want to read really, really badly, so let's get right into these because I'm super excited about them. There's definitely 3 that I'm more excited for than the others, so I'm going to save those for last because I'm most excited about them. But I grabbed When I Cast Your Shadow by Sarah Porter. So this one I bought like beginning of January and still haven't picked up yet. But this is a dark young adult novel that follows a guy named Dashiell, and he died. So his family is kind of like being haunted by that. And I don't know if it's supposed to be like spooky or thrilling, or if it's more contemporary, reflecting on his life. Like if he's actually haunting them, or if it's the memory of him that's haunting him. I didn't really get clear from that. So it's creepy looking, and I'm looking forward to that. Another creepy one that I picked up is The Outliers by Kimberly McWright. This is a young adult thriller that I haven't read too much into because with thrillers I don't like to know too much, but this is the author of Reconstructing Amelia, which I read and I really enjoyed. So when I saw this one at Bargain at Chapters in January, I think, I couldn't resist it. So looking forward to it. Another one that I don't know anything about is More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera. I read They Both Die at the End and loved it. It was so engaging and I loved his writing, so I definitely wanted to read more of his, and this is the one that I picked. So I know he has another one coming out later this year, so I definitely want to catch up on the other ones that he's released before reading his new one because I did really love his writing and his storytelling. So if you've read this, let me know. The 3 books that I am most excited about are all recent releases, so totally excited about them. Obviously you can see the first one is Restore Me by Tahira Mafi. This is the 4th book in the Shadow Me series, which I'm currently working my way through rereading in order to be totally refreshed and caught up when I get to this one, hopefully within the next couple days to week. But yes, obviously it's the 4th book in the Shadow Me series. I grabbed I Stopped Somewhere by T.E. Carter. I'd been looking for this one for so long and my bookstore was sold out forever that my pre-order of it ended up getting canceled. So as soon as I got it in stock, I ran out and purchased it. So this one is a young adult, dark contemporary following rape culture, and super looking forward to it. It's quite thin, and I think I'm gonna save it for April when the weather gets like dark and rainy. And then the last one that I picked up is another one that I'll probably read in April because it's going to be very dark and very depressing, and that is Mapping the Bones by Jane Yolen. Another one that was on my most anticipated list. This one is a Holocaust novel following the twin studies that took place at the concentration camps. And I loved her novel, The Devil's Arithmetic. It was so powerful and sticks with me, and I can't wait to read this one. Even as morbid as that sounds, I just know it's going to be so powerful. And I'm getting emotional just thinking about it because I know so much history of the Holocaust and how terrible these events that happened to the children were that I just think it's going to be a lot. So this will be a dark, rainy read for sure. So yeah, these are the 16 books that I have purchased so far in 2018. Make sure you let me know if you've read any of them, which ones you loved, which ones you were meh about. Like I said, Pretty Dead Girls will be featured in my own haul, which I'm filming right after this, because I have a lot of books that I need to get rid of. I need more shelf space. They are currently stacked on my floor, and it's becoming a trip hazard. So I gotta get through that. So look forward to an unhaul if that's not already up. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you let me know what you have purchased so far this year and what books are coming out that you want to pick up. Yeah, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!